What if real influence isn't about having the loudest voice or craving the spotlight? Imagine it's more about truly grasping how the human mind ticks. Have you ever stopped to wonder why some folks just naturally draw people in, earning respect right from their opening words and sticking in your memory for ages? Meanwhile, others, no matter how hard they try, seem to fade into the background, almost invisible. It's not about appearances or surface-level effort. There's something much deeper at play. Subtle psychological triggers, working quietly but with incredible power, are the real game changers here. These nearly invisible strategies are known only to a select few, yet they're the key to who gets trusted, who gets heard, and who people are ready to follow. In this video, you're going to discover 5 advanced psychological principles that certain individuals understand and use effortlessly. This isn't about manipulation or cheesy gimmicks. It's pure insight into how people think, feel, and respond. It's the secret to influence rooted in awareness, not force. Stick around to the end, and you'll walk away with practical tools that could shift how others see you, all without having to pretend to be someone you're not. First up, there's the echo effect. Think of it as instant emotional bonding. This trick taps into a deep mental mechanism. People feel closest to those who make them feel understood, noticed, and accepted. On a brain level, when someone hears their own thoughts, beliefs, or emotions reflected back, it lights up areas tied to safety, recognition, and comfort. That sparks a release of oxytocin, the trust hormone, boosting feelings of connection and belonging. But here's the catch. It's not about parroting their words like a robot. It's not mimicry, it's emotional harmony. In neurolinguistic programming, they call this verbal mirroring. When you pull it off with finesse and genuine care, it sets up a feedback loop. Suddenly, the other person sees you as a kindred spirit, someone who gets them. They feel in sync with you, and their inner walls start to crumble. The real trick? Don't just echo their exact words. Dig into the emotional core of what they're saying, the part that matters most to them, and reflect that back. For example, if someone says, "I just want more stability in my life," don't reply with a flat, "Yeah, me too." Instead, try, "I totally get that. When life feels steady, everything else just falls into place more peacefully, doesn't it?" That kind of response doesn't just match their words, it mirrors their values. And that's where real trust is born. You're not just listening, you're truly hearing them. Next, there's the 2-second rule, the power of silence done right. Quiet moments freak most people out. They see it as awkwardness or a conversational flop. But when you wield silence on purpose, it transforms into a serious influence booster. A deliberate pause, just 2 seconds, before you answer sends a vibe of calm, confidence, and inner strength. It's not confusion or hesitation. It's a subtle signal that says, "I've got this under control, and I don't need to rush because I know my worth." Our brains read this through something called processing fluency. When info comes across smooth and steady, it feels more legit and impactful. That's why great leaders, captivating speakers, and negotiation pros never hurry. Their words have room to breathe, and their pauses give every statement weight. Try it yourself. Next time someone asks a basic question like, "What do you do?" don't jump in. Take a beat, lock eyes with them, and then say with assurance, "I guide people to break through the patterns holding them back from being themselves." Those 2 seconds of stillness change the game. You're not chasing approval anymore, you're the one whose presence speaks volumes. Silence isn't empty, it's the space where respect takes root. Third, we've got the unfinished sentence technique. How to hook someone's mind without even trying. One of the slickest ways to influence is by leaving a thought dangling. This move leans on the Zeigarnik effect, a psychological quirk where our brains hate loose ends. We're wired to crave closure, to fill in the blanks, and that's exactly what turns an incomplete sentence into an attention magnet. When you start a point and pause right before the big reveal, you crack open a mental loop. The listener's brain kicks into gear, itching to finish what you started. The other person's mind snaps to life, instinctively racing to finish the thought you left hanging. They're not just listening anymore, they're hooked, fully pulled into the moment. Most folks think they've got a solid grip on why things in their life don't click, but the real reason lies deeper, And here's the kicker, pause right there. Watch how they lean in, practically begging to fill the silence. That quiet beat turns into a vacuum, a void they can't resist jumping into, and you're the one holding the answer. The wild twist? You grab their attention not by piling on words, but by cutting off at just the right spot, leaving the essence dangling. That's how true influence sparks, not by chasing people's focus, but by letting them chase you, desperate to hear what comes next. Now, let's talk about the fourth trick, the one-word flip, reclaiming power without a fight. When someone takes a jab, tries to rattle you, or throws out a challenge, most people's gut reaction is the same: explain, justify, or push back. But the second you do that, you're on the defensive. You've handed them the reins. The one-word flip is a sleek, almost invisible move that slides control back to you. No yelling, no fuss, just a single word. Picture this, a calm, neutral "Really?" or "Seriously?" lands way harder than a long-winded comeback. It's like holding up a mirror. They catch a glimpse of themselves and freeze. Why does it hit so hard? It throws off their rhythm. They're banking on you flaring up or crumbling, but instead, you drop a quiet word and let the silence do the rest. That stillness rings louder than any shout. Suddenly, they're second-guessing. Did I overstep? Why is he so chill? Why didn't that land? That's non-reactive strength. You're not scrapping for control. You already own it. It's almost like doing nothing, yet it shifts everything. Before we dive into the last technique, a quick shout out. If this video is clicking for you, pass it along to someone who could use it. And if you're vibing with our channel, Times Wisdom, hop over to our Telegram, subscribe, and stay in the loop with us. Fifth and final, the seed technique. Planting an idea that feels like their own. This one's the sneakiest, the deepest, and maybe the most powerful of all. It's built on a simple truth. People push back against anything forced on them, but they embrace what feels like their own call. Tell someone what to do, and their defenses shoot up like a wall. Even if you're spot on, they'll resist. But create a space where they stumble onto the answer themselves, and that idea roots deep, because they think it's theirs. In psychology, this pops up in motivational interviewing, a method where change flows not from pressure, but from clever, gentle questions. Instead of saying, "You need to ditch those draining relationships," try, "Have you noticed how much energy those ties suck out of you?" It's not an attack, it's an invitation. It slips past their logic and lands right in their awareness. That's real influence, soft, precise, guiding. You're not dragging them along, you're lighting the path. This approach doesn't just get a nod, it sparks a shift inside them. And no, it's not manipulation, it's honoring their freedom to choose, which makes it the highest level of impact. These 5 strategies aren't just chat tricks. They're windows into how human psychology hums in everyday moments. Use them with care, and they'll help you build trust, earn respect, and sway others without any shady moves. If you've made it this far, you're not just someone who hears, you're someone who gets it. So, here's my question for you. How are you going to put this knowledge to work? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Thanks for watching.